bought concert tickets online. The tickets cost $24.50 each, and there was a $9.50 processing fee. If Jackie spent a total of $83 on tickets, how many tickets T did she purchase? So I know that every single ticket cost me how much?
$24.50.
Right. And if I don't know how many she bought, what do I need to put with that?
T.
Good. Yeah. Any variable will work. And then it says she also paid a $9.50 processing fee on top of that. So I should put. Awesome.
Equals $83.
Good. All right. So what y'all do to solve this?
Subtract $9.50 from anything.
Okay. And what'd you get?
73.5. Yeah.
Okay, so I now have 2450T is equal to 73.5.
Then you divide 24. Yeah, divide by 73. You get 3.
Okay. So how many tickets did we buy? So we purchased 3 tickets. All right. Okay. So that's what we were practicing last week, right? We write an equation, solve it. Okay. So last week we did practice when we had the distributive property, and we practiced combining like terms. Today's is going to have both the distributive property and combining like terms in the problems. So it might have one or the other, or it could have both. So let's look here. It says that we're going to solve each one of these equations. So on number 1, what should I do first?
Combine. Or parentheses.
That's called the distributive property, right? We have to distribute. Well, having a negative here is the same as a -1, right? So we're going to distribute a -1 into our parentheses. All that's really going to do is change the signs in there, right? So my 8 is going to become -8, and my -m will become positive m. Okay, now that I've distributed, what do I have to do?
Combine like terms.
Alright, so I've got an 8m and an m, so all together, good. So I have 9m minus 8 equals 28. Okay, what now?
You add 8,
Good.
which would be 36.
Okay, so now I have that 9m equals 36.
Then you divide by 5.
That equals 4.
Good. Well, my final answer is that m equals 4. Good. Okay. Number 2, what am I doing first here?
Distributing.
Okay. Now, remember, when you multiply by half, it literally just halves the number, right? So half of 4,
2s.
good. And half of 12,
6.
perfect. So I have 2s plus 6 minus 5s equals 30.
Combine
Find my like terms. This is 2s and -5s.
that equals 3s.
Good, good. So I have -3s plus 6 equals 30.
24, and you divide by 3, which is -8.
Good. So when we subtract, we got that 24, and she said when we divide by -3, we got -8. Positive divided by negative gives us that negative. Good. Okay. All right. Then on number 3, what do I have to do first here?
-3c and positive.
All right, so we're going to put it into the parentheses. So I'm going to have 17 equals c, and what?
You
Okay, now what should I do?
Combine my terms.
Okay, so I've got C and negative 3C, which is going to give me
2C.
positive.
Negative.
There. Okay. Now what?
You add 3 on both sides.
17 and 3 give me
20.
20 equals negative 2C
Negative.
when I
Divide.
So C equals negative 10. All right. Number 4, what am I doing here?
Combining my terms on both sides.
You distribute.
On both.
Distribute. And we don't just do it once, we have 2 places. So I've got 2 times W.
2W.
2W and 6.
Good. All right, now I have to distribute a negative 5 as well.
Negative 5W.
With
And
a
positive 5.
Good. Now I can
Combine my terms.
combine my terms. So,
Negative 3W.
okay, so when I combine my W's, I get negative 3W.
Plus 11.
Because we have a positive 6 and positive 5.
Equal 30. Add
Subtract 11
for both sides.
is
21.
yeah, 21.
Then divide it by W.
I divide by negative 3,
Which equals negative 7.
negative 7. There you go. Okay. So we did end up with W equals negative 7. So I think we've got the hang of solving with those 2 rules. Now on the back, I have a couple more where we practice setting up the equation, which I think is what is harder anyway, the setting up part.
Yeah.
So let's look at some of these. This first one says that taking a cab in New York City is expensive. There is a base charge of $2.50 as soon as you enter the cab, plus an additional $2.50 per mile traveled. Suppose you only have a single $20 bill in your pocket and you don't plan to give any tip. How many miles can you ride? Okay, so we got to come up with an equation that matches this. So we know, yes? Do you have a question? Okay. All right, so as long as we follow what they said here, it says that you're paying $2.50 no matter what. So I'm going to go ahead and write that original $2.50 for entering the cab down. And then on top of that, it says plus an additional, so that means I'm going to be doing what? Adding $2.50 per mile. So what do I need with that $2.50? And they have a total of how much money to spend? $20. So I'm going to set it equal to 20. And then if we find M, we can figure out how many miles we can go. So what am I doing first? Alright. The one without the M, right? Okay. So now I have 250M is equal to
1750.
and now I can
Divide. And that would get you 7.
so 17.5 divided by 2.5. Did it? Oh, maybe I typed in my 2.5. Is that what it was? Oh, that's in an exponent up there. So 17.5 divided by. Okay. So 7. So M equals 7. So that means that they can go. Good. Okay. Number 6 says that a family buys airline tickets online. Each ticket costs $167. The family buys travel insurance with each ticket that costs $19 per ticket. The website charges a $16 fee for the entire purchase, and the family is charged a total of $1,132. How many tickets did the family buy? So this is kind of like the last one, right? We've got some amount that's going to be charged no matter what, and we've got some amount that depends on how many they bought, right? Okay, so we know that each ticket is $167, right? So let's start with that. Do we know how many tickets we bought?
Yeah.
So what do I need to put with that 167?
Very good.
Good. Maybe T for ticket. Okay. And each ticket has travel insurance. So what am I doing? What operation?
Plus 19.
Plus 19. So T, right. It is per ticket as well. Good. Okay. And then on top of that, they also were charged a $16 fee. So what was that? Now I did not say per ticket on that one, right? So just 16. And they spent a total of... Correct. Okay, so what do I have to do before I can start solving?
You have to combine like that.
And when I combine my T, I get what?
186.
So I have 186T plus 16 equals 1,132. Okay, what should I do now?
16 by
On both sides. So I've got 186T equals
1116.
Now what should I do?
Divide by 186.
Perfect.
That equals 6.
Okay, so T equals 6. So they bought... Good. Okay. One more. Ooh, what just happened?
What?
It like moved everything around. Hold on. There it goes. Okay, last one. Says in a triangle, the shortest side is 7 inches shorter than the longest side, and the third side is 10 inches less than twice the longest side. If the perimeter of the triangle is 15 inches, find the length of each side. So they said we had 3 sides, and they called one of them the shortest side, right? So I'm going to say that this side over here is my short side. Okay. They also said that we had a longest side. So I'm going to call this one over here my long side. And then they said we just have a third side. So I'll call this one my third. Okay. And if we read these descriptions, it looks like they're all being compared to the longest side, right? All of them say something about the longest side. So, anytime they say longest, I'm just going to plug in an L for my variable. Okay, so let's read that first sentence again. It starts with describing the shortest side. So we're talking about this one over here. And it says the shortest side is 7 inches shorter than the longest. Well, shorter would mean I am subtracting. So my longest side minus, good. It's minus 7. Okay. Then it starts talking about the third side. It says the third side is 10 inches less. So that would mean I am subtracting 10. 10 less than twice the longest side. Twice means, good. Okay. And then my longest side is just L, right? It's the one we're talking about. Okay. So So we said our short side is L minus 7, our third side 2L minus 10, and our long side is just L. Okay, and we were given the perimeter. Well, how do you find the perimeter of a triangle? We add up all the sides. So apparently, if I add all three of those up, it's supposed to give me 15 inches. That's what we said the perimeter was. Okay, so if I am going to solve this, I'm going to add up all these sides. When I start adding up these sides, I need to combine my like terms. So how many L do I have all together? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 4L, and then I still have a minus 7 and a minus 10. Okay. And all together equals 15. Okay. Alright, so now I just got to solve this. So what would I do first? Okay, so I'll have 4L equals 32. You divide by 4. And we get that L is okay. But they didn't ask that, right? They asked for every single side. Okay? So let's start with the short side. What was our formula for the short side?
L minus 7.
L minus 7. And what do I plug in for L now? 8. So 8 minus 7
Will be 1.
1 inch. Okay? Then I need to plug in for my third side. What was my formula for the third side?
2L minus 10.
And for L, I need to plug in 8. So I've got 2 times 8, which is
16.
and 16 minus 10.
6.
Good. Alright, and then my longest side was just L, and we said that L is 8. So my 3 sides are 1 inch, 6 inches, and 8 inches. Okay. Alright, so our word problems had some where we had to distribute, some where we had to combine like terms, so keep that in mind when you're doing the worksheet, right? You can have some where you combine, some where you distribute, or some with both.